to the 10th season of The Author's Corner with H.D. Campbell. Each show is filled with news, reviews, technology, and interviews with authors and artists throughout the industry, with a surprise or two. And now, as always, here is our host, H.D. Campbell. Coming up on today's Author's Corner, coming up on the Author's Corner with H.D. Campbell. And as always, let your writing fuel your spirit. Hi, welcome to the Author's Corner. As always, I'm your host, H.D. Campbell. I have two amazing guests today, including part 2 of an amazing conversation I had with Sylvia Hubbard, and it is just awesome. Also, too, if you ever want to do movies or anything like that, our first guest has always been great as well. She is wonderful. She's branched out from doing a radio show to still doing books and a whole lot of other things. But before I begin, I want to let you know too that I'm trying to always put together a great show for you. So if you have any feedback or anything, you can always hit me in my inbox. You can always drop me a line at either hdcampbell3.com or hdcampbellmedia.com. One or the other. So when we come back, we'll start the ball rolling with Loretta Green-Warren.
Hi, this is Luna Charles. This is Love, Laugh, and Live with Passion. I wrote it for the simple and honest reason that everybody kept asking me why and how am I able to have small kids, 5 and 8, work a full-time job, write books, and take care of my family. Trust me, dinner's on the table around 7:30. It's simple. I know what I want out of life. I've read what I need to do to get it out of life. It's not rocket science. It's really not a secret. It's just following simple steps every day and knowing in your heart you're after a goal and you want to accomplish it. And if you really, really want something, nobody has to force you to do it. 22 exercises, 22 weeks, half a year, not even, to make your life where you need it to be. Stop making excuses and go after the life you want. Love, laugh, and live with passion. It's very simple. Do it with passion and live and love and have a wonderful life.
Welcome back. Now, our first guest, Loretta Green-Warren, she is awesome. She's done radio shows. She writes books. She's busy. She's a photographer. She also does movies. She's got movies that are coming out right now. So, well, not coming out right now, but she's trying in process of releasing them. So, without further ado, here she is. I really can't complain. So, tell me, how the family doing? How's everyone doing?
Everybody's doing great. Family is expanding. I'm now a grandma, so yeah, it's going well.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Well, last time we spoke, you had a radio show, you were published, you had a lot going on. tell me, what's changed now?
Well, a few things have changed. Now, I'm no longer doing the radio show. That's one of the big changes. But now I'm a filmmaker now, so I'm making movies. HD, can you believe it?
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, and I'm also a full-time photographer. So,
Ooh. So
yeah.
tell me why the transition change or just elevation?
Um, well, basically, my writing evolved into a more visual aspect, I guess you can say. Because I mean, I still write, I still do my books. I'm still an author. I have several manuscripts that I'm waiting to publish. I now self-publish. I'm not with a publishing company right now. So my writing kind of evolved into the visual aspect. I wanted people to see my stories. My stories brought me to a place where they needed to be seen rather than just read. So I kind of by chance ran into somebody who was into film, and we kind of connected. We built a partnership, and that's how I kind of got started with making my own films and also helping to direct and produce films for other people.
Wonderful, wonderful. So tell me about some of your films.
The first film that I did, it's entitled "The Day I Killed My Son." Now that film, it started as a manuscript that I wrote maybe 12 years ago, and it was just sitting in my pile of projects. Me thinking that it would be a book. So one day I'm working on these other film projects, and I just got I guess I'll say it. I heard this voice that said it's time for you to make your film, and I'm like, okay, because I never really thought about it that much. I thought about it, but not seriously. So when I got that message, I went into my office, or I came into my office where I am now, and I went through my notebook, and I'm like, okay, and I started flipping through all of my old things, and I came across that story, that script, and I heard you need to write the script, and I'm like, ooh, I've never written a script, I don't know how to really write a script, so I sat there and I read through it, and the storyline just kind of came to me, and I just started writing it down, and I sent it over to my partner who does scripts, who had been writing the scripts for a long time, and she read it, and she called me up immediately and said, "Oh my God," which it was actually like 3 or 4 days before she actually got to it and then responded. But when she got it, she was like, "Oh my God, Loretta, we got to do this right now." And I'm like, okay. So anyway, it's a story about mental illness, where a mother is suffering from mental illness, and she's denying the fact that she's mentally ill, and she accidentally, due to her illness, kills her son. So it's a movie to kind of like bring awareness to the seriousness of mental illness.
Okay. Well, my next question is, so what did it take to get the movie out there?
First I had to cast it. We had to get the script fine-tuned, making sure that it was, something that we'll be able to shoot, because I do all of the filming myself, and my partner does most of the directing and producing, but I also direct and produce my own projects. So we had to get the script together. Then we had to cast for it. We had to find actors, which we already knew a lot of actors because we had been working with people before. So we had to find the right people, do some casting calls, get the right people in, do some rehearsals, and then film it. Then we just kind of like the first thing I did to try to get it out was I did a premiere for it, and then we started submitting it to film festivals. It actually got shown at a festival in Atlanta. I think it was the Inspired Faith Film Festival. They actually showed it in Atlanta. It didn't win any awards, but it did get shown. So, and right now we're still touring festivals for that movie and a couple of other ones that I've done after that.
But one thing I do say, keep at it. A festival will pick you up. Which is going to lead me to my next question. That is a very original story. That's a very powerful story. How did you feel filming that?
Well, it was exciting. It was really exciting. But the thing of it is, the story itself was, when I wrote it, it was like a precursor to something that would happen in my own personal life. Me having no idea that I would face mental illness issues in my immediate family. So when I made the film, it was like really personal to me. It kind of I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. The feeling behind doing it. It was because it was real for me. For other people looking at it, it's just a story or it's just a movie. But for me, it was a part of my life that I'm unveiling to people. You know what I'm saying? So it was a great experience. But on the other hand, it was kind of scary because now I have to let people in and I have to talk about what, some of what I've actually experienced myself. So
you have to open yourself up to a lot of things. They say even with books and films or any other type of creative art, at some point you have to interject yourself into your story, or you have to write what you know.
Yourself.
Say that again.
I said you have to expose yourself, and that's pretty hard sometimes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, it is. So now the film is out. You're shopping it around. I know it's going to get picked up. So, you have any other films in the works?
Yeah, I've made 3 films since that one.
Wow.
That were also shopping around the festivals. I did one about domestic violence. I did one about it was about love and relationships. I did another one about forgiveness. So all of the films that I do, there's a message behind it. Like I'm not just making films just to be making them. I'm actually trying to reach people and inspire and empower them as I do it, because that's basically what I'm about. My goal in life is to empower and to inspire everybody through every medium I can find in every way possible, because it's just who I am. With my books, with my films, when I had my radio show, that was my goal, and I believe every future project that I go into, it'll be the same thing: inspiration and motivation.
I'm going to give you the same compliment you gave me before we started this interview. You are one busy person, but it is a great type of busy. You have a family. You do these films. You're writing still. You're out there. How do you keep up?
I cannot tell you. By the grace of God is all I can say. I don't even. People ask me that all the time because and also HD. I'm a part-time caregiver. I have a client that I work with a couple of days a week, and she always, ask me, "Oh my God, Loretta, how do you make time to still come and take care of me?" And I'm like, "Well, you need me, so I have, I'm here." So I don't know. I just think, God give us what we need when we need it. And, we're capable of doing anything that we put our minds to. So, writing just comes naturally to me. So it's not like work. Like I was actually working on a script today while I was sitting getting my oil change in my car. So, you carve out time wherever you can get it, and you just get things done. That's all.
Have you had any setbacks, and if so, how do you deal with them?
Oh, there's always setbacks. One setback was that I published, I don't know if you heard about that company, I published 2 of my children's books with Tate Publishing Company. And I don't know if you know or not, but they folded. They went out of business. And I was in the process of publishing a 3rd book with them. And they went out of business. I lost a lot of money. My books are no longer available because now I have to republish them. It's going to cost me a grip to go through another publishing company to republish them.
Wow.
Or I have to self-publishing, so I'm kind of like, I'm trying to decide what the best route to take is, because, you know, they're such good books and they're special to me. You know, when you write a book, it's like one of your babies. You want to keep it alive, you know. So that was one of my major setbacks, and I was devastated, but I kept writing, and I kept, you know, I'm staying faithful that, you know, whatever God has for me will be for me. And I can overcome any mountain that is put in my way, because I am an overcomer. So I just refuse to be defeated, you know. And I try to keep that attitude, so that when I do get a setback, it doesn't destroy me, you know. It doesn't kill me, you know, where I can't continue to produce and continue to be an inspiration, or continue to reach people and inspire people, and, you know, just be that light in the world. I refuse to let my light be dimmed by hardships, because every day we're going to face hardships. You know, things are going to happen that are beyond our control. We just have to keep pushing, keep moving forward. That's really all you can do. Sitting back and worrying about it or really won't benefit you. So why do that?
Amen. And I really agree with you. So, for the life of me, I do miss the radio show. I mean, any chance of going back to the radio show?
I've been thinking about it. I miss it. So, I loved my radio show. I had so much fun. I met so many great people like you and, you know, a lot of other people. I really miss it, and I'm thinking about going back to it. But right now in my life, I really don't have any room for it. So, because if I do it, I want to be able to be consistent with it. You know, I want to give, you know, some quality time and attention to it. I don't want to just, you know, sporadically do it. So when I'm able to commit to doing it, I'm definitely looking forward to going back into doing it, because I believe I was pretty good at it, and I really, really enjoyed it.
Oh, you're very good at it.
Thank you.
But I guess my thing is, and if you're like me, that's code for I gotta sleep sometime.
Right, yeah. Because like I said, I mean, I do photography pretty much full time now. I got my patient that I still take care of. I'm a grandmother now, and I, you know, with my writing and making these films, I barely have time to breathe, you know. So, yeah, I just have to prioritize, I guess. I don't know.
I understand.
I need another meat.
Yeah, you need to clone yourself.
Yes. But I'm enjoying this process. I can definitely say that I am enjoying this process. This is like the best time of my life. I'm really what I want to share is that I used to work full time, and I always knew that I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I know I always wanted to work for myself. I know I always wanted to chase my dreams. I know I always wanted to be a writer. And a couple years ago, I made a decision. I stepped out on faith, and I quit my day job, and I went full time into doing the things that I was passionate about. And I have not regretted it one day. There has been ups and downs, you know, because when you're in business for yourself, you have your good days, you have your bad days. But the being able to do my own thing on my own time, being able to create, you know, how I want, when I want, has been such a blessing for me, and I wouldn't trade for nothing in the world. So I just want to encourage people that if you have something inside you, a dream, a goal, a vision, you know, don't let it slip by you. Like, go after your dreams. Like, take chances, take risks, because the only thing you'll regret is the chance you didn't take. And I'm thankful that, you know, I got to see this many years on the earth, and I'm actually living somewhat living my dream, the dream of, you know, being an author and being a filmmaker, being a photographer, and just being able to create all these beautiful things that I love. I wouldn't trade for nothing in the world.
Well, tell me about your photography career. Tell me, how did you go about doing that?
I've been taking pictures all my life. I remember I got all these pictures from when I was a little girl. My dad used to always buy me cameras for my birthday because I like taking pictures. Never thought of it as a career or anything. And a few years ago, I would say about 5 years ago or so, just happened to, my son gave me a camera, and it was like putting gold in my hands. I just started, like, you know, taking pictures of the kids and just randomly taking pictures, and then something just said, why not? You're pretty good. Why not make some money? Taking pictures. You want to be in business for yourself. And I'm like, okay. I got booked for my first wedding by chance. Just by chance, got booked for my first wedding. Of course, I didn't charge much of anything. I practically did it for free. But it was I loved it. I enjoyed it. And I've been taking pictures ever since. I'm more of as I go along, I'm learning the type of photographer that I am. I love weddings, but I'm more of a creative type photographer. I like the one-on-one sessions where I can kind of experiment with posing and different looks and different scenes and things like that. So I'm enjoying it. I really enjoy it. I love capturing a moment and then being able to go back and look at it later and be taken right back to that moment or remember that feeling. So that's what I love about photography, how it encapsulates that moment and you're able to go right back to it every time you look at that picture.
See, I love that. Now, my next question is, so my thing is, you're multi-talented, everything is going on, but what if I want to watch one of your films? What would I need to do, or is it able to be distributed yet?
Not yet. I haven't released any of them publicly yet, but one of the shorts that I'm working on, I am going to release that on YouTube very soon. I'm actually working on the second part of that. We did a part 1. Now we're about to do a part 2, and the entire both parts are going to be released on YouTube. Maybe within another month or so, we'll release that. The other film, because we're still touring the film festival circuit, I haven't released those yet. But I will be doing more projects more shorts that I'll be putting on YouTube. I actually wrote a web series. It's called Space and Opportunity. You heard it here first. My web series, Space and Opportunity, will be coming within the year to YouTube. We'll be releasing that on. YouTube will be the platform for that series.
I'll definitely be looking out for it. Most definitely be looking out. And thank you for saying it here first. I love that. Thank you.
Yeah.
I love it. Hey, do you have a website or somewhere I can follow you, stalk you, whatever we need to do?
Absolutely. My website is inspirationbyloretta.com. It is the umbrella for everything I do. Photography, film, books, everything. You find it all there at inspirationbyloretta.com. I also have a film website. Well, actually, it's because we're doing an annual film festival. It's called the Visionista Film Festival. So if you wanted to see clips of some of the films that we've either worked on or that was in our past festival, you can go to www.visionistafilmfestival.com to check that out. And there are also some clips, some trailers on my website, on my film page, that you can check out of some of my work. So yeah.
Okay.
And then you can find me on Facebook, Inspiration by Loretta or Loretta Green Warrens. I'm on Instagram at Insp by Loretta, INSP by Loretta, and I'm also on LinkedIn and Twitter. So I'm everywhere. You find me.
Wonderful, wonderful. I know you've probably done this before. If you can do this for me again, could you put all those on my messages so I can put those on the show?
Absolutely, I will.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And now we're at the part of the show where I give you the final word. Any more inspiration you want to give? Anything you want to say?
I just want to say, keep dreaming. If you're a dreamer, keep dreaming. But don't just stop there. Make those dreams come true. You got everything in you need to start where you are to get to where you want to be. So go ahead and get started. And I thank you for having me on your show. I thank you for the support.
Thank you.
Love. I thank everybody that's watching who took the time out of their busy day to, check us out. And I just pray that everybody be blessed.
Thank you. This is Bert Sanford with the headlines. Two men were arrested today in a carjacking ring that Who Murdered Bert Sanford on the Air? It's a murder so gritty, investigative reporter Mark Alexander comes out of retirement to expose a conspiracy surrounding Bert Sanford's assassination. Catch Late Murder at 10, the reprint, coming April 30th. Welcome back to the show. I have sort of a shortened more format because I want to actually give you more show, more interviews, more everything, especially when we start doing these live segments outside of the studio here, where I'm going to be going to a lot of different places. We're going to be doing a lot of different things over the summer. It's just going to be awesome. Well, my next guest, you already know because I spoke to her last week. This is part 2 of our interview with Sylvia Hubbard, where we're going to talk about community, literacy, and everything. Then you also find a way to get to know her a little better. Well, here she is. So like I said, you can teach a lot of people, especially in your community. With Detroit, well, I just put it like this. With Detroit, people, okay, we're gonna get off the subject of writing for just a second. There's so much good in Detroit, but all we hear is so much bad going on through the media. How are you helping to work with some of that?
Well, of course, it's like our city of address, which was the other day with our mayor, Mark Duggan, and he did talk about the literacy rate that is very low. I think he said we were the 3rd in the country, and that's a problem. That's a big problem. It should be a big problem to every author that is in Michigan. That should kind of put the fear in you to say, you need customers, and your customers got to be able to read. I think every author in every city should always pay close attention to your own literacy rate. So, and that's why I actually have been doing book bundles. I've been ordering book bundles where I go around to, number one, little libraries, and I contribute to getting books inside of those libraries. A lot of times when I'm driving by them, they're empty, and that just breaks my heart, like, because then that means that there's a powerful need in that community for books. And I don't think any, especially a single mom, should have to choose between buying food and buying books for her children. And that is my goal, to kind of like just be able to distribute books. I also take donated books where I donate them, or I make sure like somebody else contacts me, people know to contact me. And I'll say, okay, these are places where you can donate books in Detroit. You can donate books to bookstores where they have free books for people. You can donate them to your local library. You know, I want to make sure that, you know, gently used books are not just thrown away. They need to be poured back into the community as much as possible. Our other objective is that, of course, I teach workshops, and not only workshops to help writers, but workshops to encourage readers to do more reviews, even make a business out of what they're doing, you know, and how to educate them on what to do, on how to create a business out of being a book blogger. I want to, you know, because I want to create more readers, but I want these readers to get, you know, some kind of financial return from doing that. But also, I also do workshops with, you know, encouraging literacy in your household. And, you know, with our time and everyday things that we do, it is difficult. And anybody who says, oh, you should always make time to sit down and read to your child. But our time limit how I pay the bills. When I get this money, this is what happens to this money. So if you know if you don't get nothing for Christmas, it's because we got DTE is more important than them shoes on your feet.
Exactly. Exactly. Have bills to pay, so.
Politics, and teaching them politics literacy about how the system actually works, bringing them to go vote with you, showing them this is how bills vote, and this is what you do. But you have to teach these literacy skills so then they understand, once they get out in the world, you're going to have to do this too, and you need to learn these literacy steps in order to be a functioning adult. There's so many times you can just make up a song or check out a color or, what does that word mean? Or give them a word for the day and say, somehow today incorporate that word and tell me how you did. But there are books you can use to implement literacy throughout the day instead of just, okay, I have to sit down and read a book. Hey, you can read the same book to your child if you know that book by heart especially. And it doesn't make a difference because the child still picks up the same education from one book as it would several different books. It still picks up those literacy skills that it needs to comprehend the story, manipulate the story in their own mind, and create their own imagination about the story. That is what you're trying to trigger when you're reading to your child. It's great that you do it, but if you can't incorporate other literacy things that you can do. So that's a lot of workshops that I teach to parents, to other people who are trying to do more literacy. And then I've always encouraged people to just visit the library, go to the library. They still exist, and they're still there. So if you can't, I'll even tell people, if you can't buy my books, then go borrow it from the library. Because you're going to get profit from it no matter what. But you get it for free because you already paid the taxes. I think every author should be saying to every reader, go to the library if you can't buy my book right now. Check it out at the library. Get it as an e-book, get it as a paperback, get it as an audiobook at the library for free. I'm still get my money, but you're going to get it for free. So, and then you want to protect and visit your public entities to show, hey, we want to support you. So that's what I do in Detroit, and I wish I could do a lot more, but, I only get so many book royalties, so if everyone just buys my book, I can do a lot more.
You're successful coming out the gate already just because of your attitude alone about everything.
Very much.
I mean, like I said, with the Motown writers, with your books, with the way you go about business. So with everything, how many people can you boast now that's in Motown Writers Network?
Right now we have pretty much over, I just got rid of a lot of the old emails, but I think right now we're running our newsletter at pretty much almost about 5,000 to 6,000 people are on the newsletter itself. We're getting, even for our blogs, we're up to over 2,000. And then with Facebook combined, we're at 3,000. Twitter, I have all my Twitter followers at 12,000. So it's pretty much a large circumference, and we have not only writers and readers, but also librarians, publishers, people all in the book industry who subscribe to the newsletter. That allows me to get the word out about different authors, about different literary events, about just things that are happening in the literary community of Michigan and beyond.
Okay. So, my next question is, what's next on your horizon for you?
Next on the horizon, so I am speaking, I'm a keynote speaker at a self-publishing conference here in Michigan. It's the self-publishing conference hosted by the Rochester Writers at Oakland University, March 30th. And then I'm also in the Ann Arbor Library speaking series, and that's, I believe that's April 4th or April 6th. And I'm also, I'll be be at the Preservation of Detroit book fair. That's also April 6th. And then after that, I'm Dreaming Dirty in Michigan.
What is that?
Romance erotic event that's held in Michigan. This is the second year, and you can type in Dreaming Dirty in Detroit. That'll be at that as a bookseller, and that's all April. And then, of course, in May is the Michigan Writing Workshop, and I have a slew of other library events that are coming up that have to do with goals for writers, that have to do with marketing and publishing in the 21st century, and there's a ton of other workshops that are coming up in May, June, and July. And people can always go to my website at sylviahubbard.com/events to find out more information or to see upcoming events that I have or subscribe for updates.
Okay. Wonderful. Actually, this is going to be my next question. How do we get to know you? How do we buy your books? How do we go to your events? Let the public know she is not a married woman, so let's not go there. But no, how do we get to know you as an author? How do we get to do,
You can always visit me at my website, like I said, at sylviahubbard.com. I'm always on social media. If you type in Sylvia Hubbard, most times you'll see my smiley face up there. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, and I try to keep it updated, but I do keep it updated to give out information and just let people know what's coming up. And of course, all my books are located on my site. Just click the book button and you'll flow right into it of all the book covers and even the work in progress books in any anthologies I've been in. All of that is located on my book page. You can go there and have fun and, fill up your Kindle, fill up your bookshelf, and keep it going. I'm more of a companion author, so like when you read one book, you'll find one character that goes into another book, and they're all just standalone books of their own. So it's good. Yeah, it's pretty cool. You can't just have one. You gotta have a lot.
all right. Now, I've been asking a lot about, I'm going to wrap up here in a minute, but I wanted to ask you a serious question. I've been asking a lot of authors this lately because I've been seeing a lot of rumblings and things, not about you personally, not about you at all. But what do you think about the relationship among African American authors? Because there's a lot of times jealousy, backbiting, when there shouldn't be. We all, like you said earlier, we all should be fighting to get there together. But what are you observing? What do you think about this state?
Well, in my day, I guess because I always look positive energy around me. So usually when I see the backbiting, other authors about things, I was like this. I always internally say the energy that it took you to devise the plan to bring down some of the authors would have been better just uplift
Very good. Now, finally, always give my authors the final word. Do you have any advice? Do you have anything special you want to say? I always give you the floor. So here's the floor.
And I believe in this day and age, as I've been always saying, choose community over sales. In that regard, I believe that you will get back a lot more than just book sales. You will get back a lot of notoriety, a lot of respect in the community. Find ways to help other people through your books. I would say books are like jeans. They go with everything. You can weave books in every conversation and everything that you do. There's no reason why you should not wake up every day and try to either put your book in somebody's hands or put another book in someone's hands. And live your day to day just like that, because I believe it all gets better with a book.
She is the queen of my existence. She is someone's black mother, someone's black daughter, someone's black sister. In fact, who are you to disrespect our black sisters? The ones who bore our children, cooked our meals, and kept our two cool selves out of jail. Have you checked out How to Lose a Black Woman, the second printing? Same Bruce Williams with an updated story and more heart than the original. You can check out the second printing of How to Lose a Black Woman for only $14.95. You can check it out from these booksellers, your favorite bookstore, and even on Kindle and Nook. And as always, let your writing fuel your spirit. This is Bert Sanford with the headlines. 2 men were arrested today in a carjacking ring that Who murdered Bert Sanford on the air? It's a murder so gritty, investigative reporter Mark Alexander comes out of retirement to expose a conspiracy surrounding Bert Sanford's assassination. Catch Late Murder at 10, the reprint, coming April 30th.
Go to www.regicrochet.com for that one-of-a-kind item. That's www.regicrochet.com.
Welcome to our advice segment today. Today I want to talk about new authors and the rush to try to get published. Over the years, I've seen authors, and I've sort of been kind of guilty of even thinking that way as a new author, that you're so quick to get your work published that you're willing to push stuff out without a good cover or just push stuff out, period. No, that is never the right thing to do. I've interviewed authors. In fact, you'll have a couple authors on my next few shows that'll talk about, I tried to rush and it didn't turn out too well, or they'll say, the process took a little longer than I expected, but I'm happy with the project. Even if something takes longer than expected, I'd much rather have a good product than to have a half-assed project. Yes, I said half-assed. To have a half-assed project that I'm going to have to fix later. And then now I have to find a way to remarket myself or repackage myself. No, I always want to make sure my covers are right. I always want to make sure my books are edited. I always want to make sure of everything. If you don't have an editor, get an editor. Can't afford an editor? There are people like me that will actually offer you good services on, based on your income. We offer, a lot of them offer payment plans. Or get you some good, or if you're just that good of a writer, make sure it's perfect, the best way you can. Also, too, this is advice I've been giving since day one. Make sure the editor is professional. Make sure your readers are good readers. A lot of new writers get into the stereotype, or not stereotype, bad choice of words. They'll get into the thing is, my mama likes this, my grandmama likes this. Well, your grandmother and your mother, unless they read your genre or they are good with picking good books, will always like your work. Some are probably brutally honest, but some will, but you want to get somebody who's objective, always. And that's outside the family realm a lot of times. Finally, I want to say this. Your craft personifies you. It takes 9 months to make a baby. If a baby is born, you always make sure that baby is well fed. You always make sure that baby is clothed, going to school, disciplined right, everything. Your books are more like your children. You also, if you take that much care of your children, you also must take that much care of your books. So, that's the Author's Corner. Stay tuned next week for 2 more authors. Next week, peace, hair grease, and as always, let your writing fuel your spirit, and God bless.